Hello and welcome back to King's Quest 6. Alright, we're gonna continue exploring the island here now that we can move about freely. Go over to the east, see what we can find. Alright, we've got a beach full of books.
Piles of stacked books, looking ready to topple at any moment, have been arranged haphazardly on the sandy ground.
Wow. Hiya, gorgeous. Oh, what a luscious-looking hunk of flesh you are.
Thank you, I guess. Who are you?
How charming of you to pretend not to know. I'm Black Widow, of course. The femme fatale of all femme fatales. Know what I mean?
Indeed.
You know, I was just thinking it was time I found my 50th, another husband. It would be quite a horror, an honor to have me as a bride. Just look at my beautiful weaving. It's so light, so delicate. You'll never want to leave my little nest.
It is a lovely web, but my heart is elsewhere, I'm afraid.
Oh, drat! The loss is yours. I'm sure you'll change your mind once you consider the advantages.
I'm pretty sure I won't. But thanks anyway.
A black widow is sitting in her web. She has long legs and an hourglass on her belly. She gives Alexander a knowing look. A thread is hanging from the otherwise tightly woven web.
That scrap of paper blew into my web from those books over there. The wind just thinks it can deposit anything here.
Well, we're going to stay away from that little charming little thing. Let's see what these books are all about.
Hey, hands off the goods there, son.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, hands off the goods there, son.
Oh, sorry. Hello? Is anyone there in the books?
No, there's no one here.
Oh, really? I beg to differ.
The tail end of this island is a riot. The tail end of this island is a riotous scramble of books, sand, and a spider's web. The tail end of this little bees buzz around the books as though the pages were laden with the sweetest pollen. Maybe they're spelling bees.
Hello?
No, there's no one here.
Okay, well, he obviously doesn't want to talk to me. Let's see what we can find up here.
A mushy swamp lies just off the path. It doesn't look like very good swimming. A mushy swamp lies. A stick is stuck in the middle of the swamp. The Isle of Wonder swamp oozes with muck, moss, and mud. Crickets and frogs sing an endless serenade, and the green filtered light adds to the sense of dampness here. A cluster of cattails flourishes near the muck of the swamp. Alexander decides to pet the soft-looking cattails. Zounds, what a racket! So much for stirring up those cattails. A large tree stretches knotted limbs out over the swamp. Part of the tree's trunk is shaped like the face of a dog. Why, it must be a dogwood tree.
Must be.
Alexander considers climbing the tree and quickly changes his mind. The fallen log has a good-sized knot or bump. Milkweed thrives near the mucky swamp. Small bottles filled with milk grow on it like fruit.
Huh. How about that?
Alexander takes a bottle of milk from the milkweed bush. Apparently, the dogwood tree doesn't like Alexander standing that close.
Oh, this is pretty.
Alexander is standing in a delectable garden. Nestled in the bright green grass are colorful plants growing in orderly clusters. Some of their curious faces peer up at Alexander from the sides of the path. The garden ends at a speckled gate. Unless Alexander is mistaken, those plants must be baby's tears. Vines of sweet ripening tomatoes climb up little wooden posts. Is that lettuce growing in the garden? It looks a little chilled. Why, it must be iceberg lettuce. Alexander takes a close look at the tomato in the ground. It appears to be darker than those on the vines.
What are you staring at there, boy? Go away, you rootless thing, you! Yeah!
Yep, that tomato is definitely rotten. Clinging vines climb the garden wall. Those grapes look awfully sour. The wallflowers look terribly shy. A colorful array of snapdragons stand guard to one side of the path.
Hello. Aren't you a bunch of fine-looking young plants?
Apparently, the baby's tears haven't learned to talk yet.
Good day, tomato vines.
Good morning.
How did you manage to fall off the vine, Mr. Tomato?
What do you think? I'm old, I'm rotten! Yeah! Leave me alone!
If you say so.
After all, you're just gonna let me sit here and rot on this dry ground like everybody else, aren't you?
Why, I don't know. I suppose...
Ah, never mind! Just go away! Ah!
Well, if you're gonna be like that about it.
Hey! What do you think you're doing there? Get your hands off me! Hey!
Alexander picks up Rotten Tomato and puts him away. One never knows when one will need a rotten tomato.
One of the neat things that you can actually do is you can actually talk to the rotten tomato.
What do you want from me? A recitation or something? Leave me alone! Yeah! What do you want from me? A What do you want from me? A Hands off, you!
The old rotten tomato gives Alexander a mean look and grumbles sourly.
Good day, snapdragons.
The snapdragons don't seem inclined to communicate with anyone.
Excuse me, lettuce.
The lettuce just gives Alexander the cold shoulder. There appears to be a hole in the garden wall. Through the hole in the wall, Alexander sees a land that resembles a giant chessboard. Wow, it really is a hole in the wall. Zounds, those wallflowers sure are shy, and the snapdragons are awfully protective of them. Alexander can't even get close to the wallflowers without causing quite a stir.
Greetings, ladies. How charming you look today.
The wallflowers are too shy to talk to Alexander.
Wallflowers.
Alexander decides to pick up the hole in the wall. A hole in the wall could be a very useful thing. Alexander startled the poor thing. It's run off to hide behind the wallflowers. The wallflowers, overcome with shyness at Alexander's approach, cluster together and cover the hole in the wall. Alexander can't get it.
What curious clinging vines are on this wall?
We know we're fascinating, but no one ever visits us. We're lonely.
That's too bad.
We just want to be liked. We just want to be hugged. We've been clinging to this wall, but he's gotten boring.
I see. Perhaps you should find a new place.
Don't be stupid. We're clinging vines, not particularly mobile.
No, I don't suppose so. Well, good luck.
Alexander addresses the grapes.
Why are you so sour, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, we'll tell you. How would you like to have the possibility of being made into wine hanging over your head? And then there's our neighbors, the clinging vines. All they do all day is whine about the Ivy League social climbers that never call. It's really just no fun at all.
That's too bad. Well, I hope things start looking up.
Thanks a lot.
I love the Isle of Wonder. So many puns, so little time.
A red-chest knight stands at the top of the marble steps. A noble white-chest knight stands at the top of the marble stairs. Alexander is standing at the edge of a strange land with rolling checkered hills. Two chessboard knights stand before the marble entrance, guarding a path which wanders like a ribbon into the velvety hills.
Excuse me, what land lies beyond?
What land? Chessboard land, you knave!
I see. And is chessboard land part of the land of the Green Isles?
It is the home of the red and white queens, rulers of the Isle of Wonder, fairest of the islands that owe loyalty to the king of the land of the Green Isles. But perhaps not for long.
What do you mean?
What is the purpose of unity with the great king and queen dead? The princess is worth serving, but the feud with the other isles is strong.
I must insist, Your Highness. I shall send the lump of coal to the Vizier and the Princess as a present for their wedding, and that's the end of it.
And I suppose you'll leave me with only this stupid spoiled egg to send, Your Highness. I want to impress the new king and queen of the realm as much as you do. As queen of this island, I have every right to that lump of coal.
Who isn't queen of this isle? The lump of coal is in my possession. Therefore I shall do as I please with it. Besides, there's nothing wrong with that spoiled egg.
The egg, though delightfully spoiled, is not nearly so valuable as the lump of coal, and you know it. Your Highness always got to carry the singing stone. It's not fair that you get the coal, too.
That doesn't count. The singing stone was stolen by that horrid beast. I should get to keep the coal just because my stone was stolen.
It wasn't your stone. It belonged to the Isle of Wonder treasury. Your Highness always thinks that everything is hers.
Excuse me, my good man, but could you settle an argument for us?
We which of us should get to carry the coal and which the egg. Remember, white is the color of deserving truth and virtue.
Quiet, your highness, and let him make up his own mind. I, for one, shall be more proper, and not even mention the fact that red is the color of love.
Well, I'm glad you didn't mention that.
I'm sorry, Your Majesties. I'm partial to both red and white, but I'm afraid that I don't know how to solve your problem. One of you will just have to be gracious and allow the other the lump of coal.
What a ridiculously stupid idea. Quite ludicrous.
He was a lot of help, wasn't he?
Oh, yes. Obviously a man of high intelligence. The lump of coal goes much better with my gown anyway. Black and red are imperial colors. That's the silliest thing I ever heard. Red does not go with anything, being much too self-conscious. White is the perfect accompaniment to any color.
Well, that was intriguing.
Checkmate! Only chess pieces allowed in chessboard land? That's right. Humans aren't allowed in and never will be. Stay out!
Well. Hospitable, aren't we?
Can I pass into your fair land?
Heavens, no! No humans allowed in chessboard land. Never have been, never will be.
Well, looks like the Red Queen.
The Red
dropped
Queen
something.
has dropped her scarf on the steps. Alexander picks up the Red Queen's scarf. The silky red scarf would not make a very good accessory for Alexander's wardrobe.
Sure it would.
I found a red scarf. I believe the Red Queen dropped it.
The Red Queen is always dropping her scarves. She thinks it's fashionable. Keep it, and consider yourself honored.
Okay. Although, not sure honored is the right word for it, but,
I found a red scarf. I believe the Red Queen dropped it.
I don't care for red, and I don't wear scarves.
Alright, well, there's not much more we can do here. And the hole in the wall darts back behind the wallflowers. One thing you should notice is that the Red Queen did note, actually the Red and White Queen both noted that there was a singing stone that was part of the Island of Wonder treasury, and it was stolen from the Isle of Wonder by the Beast. And there's only one beast that we've heard of so far, and that's the beast, or that's the beast that the Isle of the Beast is named after. So, we're gonna go ahead and head over there, but first, I'm gonna grab...
Alexander picks a head of iceberg lettuce.
Ye gads! Is that cold?
Something interesting about the iceberg lettuce is that it's actually made...
Alexander is carrying a full head of a queer-looking lettuce made of ice. The lettuce is rapidly melting.
It's made of ice, and so it will actually melt over time. If you just keep it in your inventory and don't do anything with it, it will melt eventually. Alright, we're gonna head on over to the Isle of the Beast.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
because of this boiling pond. But now we have something that could possibly cool the boiling pond down.
Hoping to cool down the boiling pond, Alexander throws in a head of iceberg lettuce. The pond's water slowly stops boiling, cooled by the ice. It still looks hot, but bearable. The pond is no longer boiling, but it's still pretty hot.
Well, heck, let's try it.
Alexander decides to brave the steaming pond.
Ouch! Ow! Ooh, 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 ouch!
The pond is no longer boiling, but it's hardly bathwater.
Hardly. Well, at least we can get to the lamp now.
Alexander takes the old hunter's lamp from the tree. Alexander rubs the lamp, but nothing happens.
Aw, no genie. Oh well.
As Alexander continues down the path, he gets the strange feeling that he's being watched.
Come on over here and see what I'm doing with these flowers. Never mind that stone fella on top of the gate. He won't hurt you any. He's just there to scare you.
Gleaming gold eyes. And a stone figure that follows my every move.
A stone archer sits atop the lintel of the gate like a silent guardian. His stone bow is tightly drawn and fitted with a single stone arrow. The statue to the left of the gate shows a man kneeling down with his spear as though waiting for a target.
Yeah, that doesn't look very safe at all.
A pleasant-looking middle-aged man is busy tending a small garden just past the wall.
I'm Alexander of Daventry. Who are you?
What difference does it make? Just come on over here. I'll tell you my life history if you still want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go over there.
A brick lies in the grass. It must have come from the old brick wall.
Come on through, I say. I can show you a path through the forest.
It just looks a little too suspicious to me. All I'm saying. Oops.
You aren't gonna listen to me, are you? Well, we'll just see about that.
That's odd. The gardener just disappeared.
Very odd. Well, we made it past the boiling pond, but once again, we can't get very far. So, we'll have to come back here at some other point. For right now, let's head back to
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
the Isle of the Crown.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Let's see if Jollo's come back to the bookshop yet. Oh, what's this?
Alexander doesn't remember that sign being on the wall before. He decides to take a closer look. It's a proclamation. It reads, "Citizens rejoice, announcing the royal wedding and coronation of Wazir Abdul al-Hazred and Princess Kasima. For reasons of security, the wedding will not be open to the public. Long live the new king and queen of the land of the Green Isles." Alexander feels his stomach turn at the thought of the dread event. If he doesn't do something soon, Kasima will be another man's wife.
Oh, crap. Well. Let's see if Jollo's come back yet. Ah.
Jollo, How fare you, and what news have you from the castle?
Prince Alex, how I fare is close to boiling. Have you seen the wedding proclamations around the village? I've heard rumors of the wedding, of course, but I didn't want to believe it, and I never thought it would be so soon.
Cosima. Married. Oh, it is an unpleasant thing to swallow, friend. If only I knew Cosima wished it. Tell me about the Wazir, Jallo.
The Wazir? Now there's a dangerous subject. His name is Abdul al-Hazred. He came to the kingdom 15 years ago. The king was fascinated by his knowledge and his fine-sounding ideas. It didn't take long for al-Hazred to convince the king to trust him with the minor problems of daily government. You see, Caliphim had a wife and a new daughter he wanted to spend time with. Al-Hazred became Wazir.
And now?
Well, he's had his eye on Cosima ever since she was a young girl. And she is the only thing between him and the throne.
Do you think he means to harm her?
Oh, I honestly don't know. I think he'd rather keep her as wife. But whatever his plans for the princess, he will use her to his best advantage. That's his way.
Perhaps he has charmed her. Perhaps she cares for him now.
The Wazir is capable of anything. And Cosima must be vulnerable and lonely right now. Still, she has always instinctively distrusted him. Cosima has a good head on her shoulders. I'd be surprised if she's truly fallen for his words of love. I must return to the castle, Prince Alex, and you to your wanderings. May we both fare well.
Well, that's certainly unsettling news.
An antique leather-bound book is displayed on a little stand on the counter. On the elaborate cover is the title, Ye Useful Book of Magic Spells. Alexander cannot commune with the spell book while it's on the counter.
How much for that book on the counter, merchant?
It is a fine book, is it not? I obtained it from the estate of the one and only magician this kingdom has ever had. Poofed himself into an aardvark in the end, or so I heard. I never found the spells all that useful myself, but then I lead a boring life. I tell you what, if you can find another rare book, something a bit more marketable, I might be willing to exchange the spelled book for it.
Another rare book. Alright, well, we've learned some rather unsettling news. Cosima's about to be married, and there's not much we can do about it at the moment.
Your candy dish is empty!
I am sorry, sir, but I have no more mints. Somebody has eaten them all.
Well, get some more then!
I fear that is impossible. Without the ferry, I can no longer get imports from the other islands, and we do not grow mint extract on the Isle of the Crown.
Oh, I hate not getting what I want!
Well, suck it up, old man. Jeez. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and trade our Tin Nightingale back in.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please choose something in exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make his selection.
Alright, right now, I think we're going to go ahead with the flute.
I'll take the flute.
The flute? Very good, Prince Alex. May its music always be sweet. Feel free to trade it back at any time.
Thank you.
So, can Alexander play the flute?
Alexander plays a lovely little tune on the flute.
Indeed he can. Alright, we're almost out of time for this Let's Play, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And when we come back, we're going to head back to the Isle of Wonder and see what other things we can dig up there. So, until then, thanks for watching. Bye.